Yes, guys, Robert Optal Carnivore. Now, I want you to really think about this one. Let it sit in and resonate and marinate with you. Surely, there is an optimal human diet for us as a species. Because I'd just been for a lovely morning walk watching the sunrise, and it got me thinking, every other animal, I'm walking past a field and there's sheep and lambs just eating grass, feeding off the mother. There's cows, doing the same thing. Bamboo is for a panda. Eucalyptus leaves for a koala bear. A lion takes down a gazelle. Why are we the only species on Earth that don't have a clue what to eat? But we've got these modern day diseases like heart disease, cancer, dementia, stroke, type 2 diabetes. Why have we massively overcomplicated it when every other animal seems to know what to do? They eat, get on with their lives, stay healthy, don't get overweight, don't get any of these diseases. Don't have like a pride of lions on separate different diets, like the mother and the father are not on different diets. Then one's not on a vegan, one's not a vegetarian. One's not a carnivore, one's not a calculator out counting the macros, one's not if it fits your macros, one's not on a Paleolithic diet. So why are we, like in the same household, people can be eating totally different things, but we're all human, our DNA is all the same. We shouldn't have to weigh things out. You shouldn't have to have a macro app. Like, you don't ever see a koala with a calculator. What is going on? So I look at it this way, because of like so many years working with clients and experiencing it myself, we're the only species that eats for pleasure and not nutrition. And let this one resonate. We're the only species that's malnourished but obese at the same time. So we're eating tons and tons of calories, empty calories, getting nothing from it, carrying on eating, getting bigger and bigger and bigger and all these problems, but we're malnourished and we're still lacking certain vitamins and minerals and God knows what else. But what does that tell you? Every other species on Earth eats their optimal diet for them and they're healthy. But us as humans, what the problem is, we've got this hyper palatable, ultra processed, highly addictive, scientifically made to be that way, food that keeps us on the merry-go-round. How do we get off it and what should we be eating? Yes, it's very, very difficult. Otherwise, everyone would be in shape. No one would need an online coach. We'd be absolutely fine. This is literally why I make these videos. I believe in it is education, and hopefully light bulb moments and stuff I say might resonate with people and they'll get an idea of what they should be eating, what's actually happening, because you don't realise you're addicted to something until you try cut it out. So yeah, if you don't think you're addicted to something, go cold turkey, let me know how you get on. So I truly believe that the evidence points to that we are at least facultative carnivores. And what does that mean? That means we absolutely thrive on a meat-based, animal-based diet, and we have the ability to have some plant matter at times of scarcity just for survival reasons. I truly believe, and I argue, that a lot of people, majority of people, would do a lot better. Like, why would you not want optimal? That's why I like the word optimal. They would thrive and reach their optimal human potential as an obligate carnivore, removing the plants. Trust me, you'll never look back. When I say plants, you might think, oh, don't eat that many plants. No. The average population is on a 70% plant-based diet. Everything is derived from like sugar, wheat, cereals, corn. Look at like bread and like potatoes, like crisps and chips, and everything is plant-based. You just don't realise it. Now, this one might sound a little bit harsh, but full honesty, transparency, authenticity at Optal Carnivore. No one is a precious little snowflake that need a few carbs before training, or if I don't eat this, my blood sugar dips and I get moody and I have low energy, or I need a bit of chocolate and alcohol at night to relax myself. No, you've trained yourself into those things, and you've probably heard it from elsewhere and you've believed it because it's worth it for that little dopamine hit. You need to reset your system, go a couple of weeks cold turkey. If you don't think you're addicted to those things, which most people might say, oh no, I just like a drink, or I like a cig. Yeah, you're supposed to like it. It's a drug. It's a drug-like effect, and it keeps you hooked. Nicotine, everything like that. Cut it out for a couple of weeks. It'll change your life, because we are not so different after all, and it's proven. Our DNA is all the same. Yes, there's tiny little minutiae things. That's why it's good to have an online coach. That's where it comes in. That's why I call it kind of it's your version of the carnivore diet. But the hate to use the word meat and potatoes, but the meat and the bulk and the biggest rock in the jar is being that obligate carnivore, that meat-centric diet. Then people might have the little vices and nuances with regards to like caffeine and dairy and how many meals a day and protein to fat ratios and all these things. There's individual tolerances and allergies, yes, but remember the core and you'll do absolutely fine. You just need to stick with it long enough to adapt, to become fat adapted, to be good at utilising, producing ketones, all these transporters and enzymatic processes, being able to be in a gluconeogenic state, making your own glucose, utilising it. Of course, if you just started a diet today, but you've been drip feeding yourself with carbohydrates every couple of hours for God knows how long, decades. Like, your body is a very energy saving machine. It's not going to start making its own glucose and ketones when you've been provided from an exogenous source in the diet. There's no point. It's going to save energy. So you need to give it time to adapt rather than writing it off after a couple of days. We treat our cars better than we treat our bodies. You wouldn't put petrol in your precious little diesel engine. So why are you putting the wrong fuel in your body? We just need to find a way back to our ancestral roots, how we're supposed to eat, how we evolved, what we're still supposed to be doing. It's a speck of time in human history that we've been eating these ultra-processed grains, these refined sugar, flour, oil, agricultural revolution. Can't get my words out today, but it's authentic. The Industrial Revolution, all this crap, we've shot ourselves in both feet. We can find a way back. If you need help, that's where I come in. Let's go.